I request Baldevanand Prabhu to make offering and Sushant Valvekar Prabhu to be ready. And I request everyone to keep their offerings brief. There are many devotees who are there in line to make their offerings. So kindly keep your offerings brief. Thank you.
I had an opportunity of privilege of going to Dhirukeshwar Prabhu's house. Myself and my wife returned from Chennai. And directly from airport we went to his house. I remember that first occasion, how he treated, we interacted with his father, mother. We had such a wonderful lunch. Still we remembered, myself and wife. After everything is finished, his father gave a nice elephant to me as a present. Still we are having in his house. Such a loving care, because since I am related to Achyut Gopal Prabhu Suvalas Prabhu, he has treated me so much with a loving care. Really I never expected. Even our relatives will take so much care for each and even small things. I still remember, Dhirukeshwar Prabhu, your hospitality you have hosted for us. I am carrying with me. Plus another thing with Dhirukeshwar Prabhu's quality is, he never heard the word of impossible in his life. I had a privilege of arranging for his accommodation and also darshan in Kanchipuram, Varadaraja Perumal temple. This has happened on Vaikuntha Ekadasi. So Prabhuji, he was coming from Tirupati to Kanchipuram. I requesting Prabhuji, since it's a Vaikuntha Ekadasi, normally that darshan will take a lot of time. You will not be able to have the darshan, and most of them will having a fasting that day. We would like to change the date to some other date, Prabhuji. You go on a Dwadasi day, so we'll get prasadam. Prabhuji said, don't worry about prasadam, we'll do Nirjal. So he was not alone, he was inspiring, taking a lot of youth with him. So that was a determination. He fasted for whole day, had a nice darshan. Next day morning, around 7:30, called him up to know where is he. He said, I already reached Chengalpattu. Chengalpattu is around 8 kilometers from Kanchipuram. He already boarded the train, he went on the train. Such a determination, he doesn't worry about his comfort. He has been taking yatra after yatra. He went from Kanchipuram, he went to Srirangam. So he went to Mayapur, many places, Jagannath Puri. He was always taking. So next, one more thing, important thing is, previously, I also told you, impossible is not in the dictionary of our Dhirukeshwar Prabhu. When he took over the Ponda congregation, as well as Madgaon, as well as Concon congregation, previously they were the impression will not be able to collect any funds, because their congregation devotees were very skeptical. So nobody will give the funds for that ISKCON program like that. They will not give donation. But Dhirukeshwar Prabhu made it possible. He has created such a history that the Ponda devotees are the maximum collectors now. From all these devotees, previously the Panjim was the maximum collection they issued for Janmashtami and all. Now the Ponda has taken over and the first in the list. This goes to Dhirukeshwar Prabhu. He can motivate devotees to serve Krishna very nicely. That is one of the qualities. And last thing I can say is, Dhirukeshwar Prabhu, the way in which he is departed from this mortal world is very amazing actually. He has obtained the stage of Samadhi, which even sannyasi could not, some of the sannyasi could not even achieve. Such a perfect stage. It is really touched my heart, how the devotees can serve even with a very little time. It is a matter of 10 years or 11 years. He has perfected the life, and he has touched many of these, the heart of the devotees, and his departure is a big shock for all of us. And since Dhirukeshwar Prabhu has obtained the lotus feet of Krishna, he will bless us with whatever we are lacking in our life. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Baldevanand Prabhu. Sushant Valvekar Prabhu can make his offering, and later we will have Krishnadas ji, Dhir Krishnarup Prabhu's father, making his offering.
Hare Krishna. Actually, I am not here to make kind of offering, but I am come here to say sorry to him because I have not, even in my dreams of dreams, I have not imagined that he would have left us so early. Dhiraj Krishna Das, born as a Das of Krishna, served for Krishna, and he was given a name Dhir Krishna Rupa Das by Maharaj. From Dhiraj Krishna Das to Dhir Krishna Rupa Das, he became turned 360 degree, which for Achyut Gopal Prabhu or his friend Sandeep Prabhu, they have seen him. For them, it's like miracle. He was a strong person, very strong person. So from a situation, one situation, he came to a very different situation, and he stick to it. And from his bhakti life, he started, and the way he had reached, for me, it's a very difficult thing. The day he had got Kantimala 2 rounds, and that day I just saw some Kantimala on his neck. And his neck was black and the Kantimala was white, big he wear. I was just laughing. From that view and his today's view is completely, I cannot even imagine. He has done tremendous progress in his bhakti and even showed us what to do in bhakti, how to do, how strong he was in as devotees in collection, in arranging the program, doing the program, getting devotees together, and he was good at convincing devotees. Like Ranganath Prabhu says about the roads also. We used to again and again have a meeting for that, and my decision and his decision used to not match. But finally, he used to, aram se with a cool head, he used to convince me, no, this is the thing, we have to go, this is the ISKCON rule, and we used to follow him afterwards. And this like his dream is there to make a road, as we are very close to it. And I will now, personally try to serve him by doing his incomplete projects or sevas, getting into it. Okay, this is something, and very very important. What I feel is like these brahmacharis. We are grastas. These brahmacharis in Goa ISKCON, like they are the diamonds. Some few diamonds we have. Okay, and we have to take care of this diamond very carefully. Their health, they take care of our spiritual health. So we have to take care of them, their health, and what lack they have. So I was just talking with Achyut Gopal Prabhu. We have to see that devotees' health in brahmachari's health in a good way. They go for a regular checkup, body checkup for 6 months or 3 months or a year, and we have to help them. First, very important thing is they are not able to get a sleep because of chanting. They are doing Vasco program, Ponda program, Marga program. Here and they have to run. In this, they get lack of sleep. So their health, even Achyut Gopal Prabhu also not having good health. Like just now devoted, he was operated 5 years before also. But he will never cry that, oh, I was operated, I cannot do this, I cannot leave this. He used to do everything. And again, he used to manage to do the program in a proper manner. Okay. I wanted to say many things, but I cannot say no, because I cannot get in mind, because I cannot believe that he is not there. I am a businessman and I see how I can get money from others. But he is a so convincing person. He came to me many times on my shop, my office, we spoke. He convinced me to sponsor for Radhanath Swami program when Radhanath Swami had come to Goa. He convinced afterwards me to, sponsor for Janmashtami. Actually, in his love and the way he used to laugh, and his laugh used to touch the heart, I always agreed to it. Though we used to fight many times, none of devotees used to fight with him like I did. But end of the day, I was having a lot of respect for him, because I know from which situation he had come and what he is doing. It's difficult for a person who had come from, very enjoyment circle, or is to friend very, musty doing circle, and now he's become a brahmachari and serving the Krishna is very tremendous. So I was having a lot of respect for him. So this I would end up by saying sorry to him, ask forgiveness to him, and to pray that I serve, I get, some part of seva what he was doing, and continue my bhakti forever. Hare Krishna. To his father, you have not lost your son. From your native place, he had come to Goa to ISKCON to do seva, and from ISKCON, he has gone to Krishna's abode to do seva there. Okay, I request to you that your son is not gone. He has given us. I am your son. We have all your son. We are there for you anytime. And I'll say you are my father only.
Thank you, Sushant Prabhu. And we have Dhir Krishnarup Prabhu's father, Krishnadas ji, making his offerings. We also have amongst us Janaki Das, Dhir Krishnarup Prabhu's mother, Deepak Das, Dhir Krishnarup Prabhu's brother, Radhika, Dhir Krishnarup Prabhu's sister-in-law, Aryan, Dhir Krishnarup Prabhu's nephew, Radha Krishnan and Girija, Dhir Krishnarup Prabhu's uncle and auntie, Shriman Haridas and Shrimati Kavita, Dhir Krishnarup Prabhu's uncle and auntie, and Shri Shaktidharan and Shrimati Shobha, Deepak's father-in-law and mother-in-law. So I request, Roji, please.
Hare Krishna. First of all, I pay my humble respects and obeisance to the most elated Swamijis and all who have come from Bombay and all the ISKCON devotees. Without your prayers and strength, I would not have been able to stand here. I humbly prostrate before you. Hare Krishna. Well, Dheeraj, as you all know, is my second son. He was born in 1984, and the day after his birth only, he was having all the problems of life. What do you have to go? He was having a chest congestion and all that, and then he was born in Kerala, in Cherplaseri, in a hospital. So the doctor told that there's a, what do you call that, hole in the heart or something you have to monitor and be careful. And then, of course, I was working in the customs. We came back to Goa. And here I was following up regularly. And in 84, I was transferred and posted in Mumbai. And there, I had taken him to Nanavati Hospital. And I had 2-3 doctors' opinions. And then we had to do that balloon valvoplasty. And they said the gradient is okay, and it was opened up and all that. And then after my deputation to Bombay airport, I came back to Goa, and I have a big file of his. I used to go to Vasco, and his echo was done and all that, and the doctor said, he's studying, let him grow up. And, but the problem remains. And then I had gone to some hospital in Madgaon and all, and after that, he finished his graduation from GEC. And immediately after passing out, my cousin was doing very well in Bahrain. He had his own electrical this thing and all. He sent me, he phoned me, he said, Das, you send his passport, you send his certificates, fax it, I'll fix him in a very good multinational company there. So I said, come on, you go to Bahrain and all. So he was dodging and, twisting. He said, no, Dad, let's see, tell him that I will see later. I would like to be in Goa only. He told me that way. Then he had a job in Cipla he worked as in the maintenance engineer for about 1 or 2 years. That time he was mostly, he got this connection through Brijesh Prabhu and all, when these people used to go to hostel and all. That time only he had an inclination. He used to tell about Krishna, and of course, at the young age only we believe that Lord Ayyappa, we have a temple in Guruvayur and all. So that stories were there with him. What to say, after 2 years in Sipla, he started giving me signals that it's very difficult to manage this Grihastha and this. He used to confer with me. He was like a friend to me. I used to talk to him, and of course, and then one day he said, Daddy, I want to fully devote to this Krishna consciousness. And of course, Shivilas Prabhu and he was acquainted with this, and his father, I'm sorry, I don't know your spiritual name, Shetty sir. All these people were these guides and all. And then when he joined the Ponda, this thing and all, and he told me that he is not able to, and I was on duty, and then in fact he typed a letter and kept at home. My wife was at home, he typed a letter, and he phoned and told me, Daddy, I kept a letter in that room, you read it, he said. So I was on duty, she was in this thing. And that letter I would read in the last, with your permission. Luckily I got the letter, it's written in 2007. So finally he switched over to Ponda, this thing. There, you have this, he was following all the aspects of the ISKCON, and while dancing and all, he was feeling breathlessness. Of course, we were in touch, we knew. And then one day, around 7:30, 8 o'clock, Brijesh Prabhu came to my house. And he said, I think he has got a problem. And you have this Bhakti Vedanta hospital and all that and all. He said, 2-3 places they haven't checked up, and it's better to go for a valve replacement. And immediately when I knew, we flew to Mumbai, and in fact his 10 years life, Shivilas Prabhu, the way he has helped us, Achyut Gopal Prabhu and all who were there in the hospital, we were 10 to 12 days, and he had followed up with the doctor. They wanted a good doctor because you have very high doctors who are there, who are doing MD and all, who chant. I was told they chant after doing an operation. If they don't have time, they chant it after 2-3 days. That's what I was told. Who are so much Krishna consciousness. Shivilas Prabhu ji did all the arrangements, meeting the doctor, payment, this thing and all. And then after 10 days, he was to fly down to Bombay, and they said Atul will come by train. I said he has been with him for 10 days. They both will fly. And when they flew, they came to my house for few days. That time, Prabhuji had come from Chennai with this thing. He came to my house, and I was lucky enough that they gave a consolation. So we were all anxious. We said, you wait here, don't go far. Within 1 week, he was telling, no, I will go and take rest in the ashram. He said he will go and take rest in the ashram. And then he shifted to the ashram. Anyway, it's, as Grihastha, initially even I had a lot of these things, but now I feel what he has done with all your blessings and support is the Almighty's wish. And his friend is there, Sandeep. He may be Sandeep Prabhu. They were very good. They were classmates and all. And he had written a letter. He had given a ISKCON birthday card to him, in which he wrote, Dear Dheeraj Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisances. Everyone is born in this world, but getting birth of a devotee is very rare. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Bahunam Janmanam Ante Jnanavan Mam Prabhadede Vasudeva Sarvam Idi Sa Mahatma Sa Durlabha. BG 7.19. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrender unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. Make full use of this opportunity to make your life a success by serving Krishna. You have got wonderful qualities which are very favorable for devotional service, which is the direct result of the values your parents brought you up with. Really, your parents are great souls. Krishna gave you nice parents. I have learned a lot from you. Much more remains to learn, aspiring to be your servant, Sandeep. He had motivated. And I was lucky my wife had got this letter which he wrote and kept in my room, and he phoned, and with your humble, I would like to, dated 25/11/2007, Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Sri, Sri, Guru and Gauranga. Dear Dad, Mom, he knows, she will be more this thing. So he has addressed me, Dear Dad, this letter to me. The reasons why I express my desire to take Vaishnava training is because in every ashram you decide to enter, there are very stringent laws which every sincere aspiring devotee must abide by. I have already discussed some of the rules about the Grihasthashram with you. He used to discuss with me. I admit I have attraction towards the Brahmachari life because of its simple and focused centered life around Krishna. Still, I don't mind accepting either depending on what suits me better. I don't want to make a wrong choice which could hamper my spiritual life, which is why devotees all over the world take up training in the temples to make their choice easier. I don't want to hurt you all, but please understand that without conviction and determination, I won't voluntarily make up at 3:30 a.m. every day. This is the right time to get trained up. I already have enough job experience to get another job if required. And more importantly, I am confident with both electrical and marketing with positive feedbacks from various and present employers. This is not a hasty decision. I have pondered over it for over a year and a half. And still the desire to take training has not gone away. If I don't go with what my intelligence says, then I am simply cheating myself, and I will always remain resentful. It's difficult for you to face relatives and friends, but as soon as you accept my decision, you will share my conviction. And after all, what's wrong if your son is taking training to learn the Bhagavad Gita and other ethics to serve the human society? I spoke to Deepak, his elder brother. I spoke to Deepak. Also, he said I should do the training. Otherwise, I will be resentful. The reason I chose 7th December is because it's the appearance of His Highness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. It's a nice day to start. I'm not going to shave my head or wear saffron. I just want to get trained up nicely as a good servant of the Lord. And with your consultation only will I take the decision of my ashram. That also he, just ducked and yes, that we'll see, and all he ran, beat around the bush, because he wrote that, but and he phoned me that he is in Bombay when that ceremony was being taking place. I blessed him, no doubt that day. I have always been frank and straightforward with you, and I thank you both for being so encouraging in my spiritual life. The other day you said, after all, every living entity's ultimate goal in life is to go back to Godhead. I am preparing for that. One day I am sure you will be proud of my decision, as not many share a goal which involves serving humanity and practicing devotional service as their goal of life. I pray at the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna and his eternal consort, Srimati Radharani, and thank them for giving me such loving parents. We are blessed. One day my parents will be proud of my decision. Thank you.
Thank you, Krishnadas ji, and very grateful specifically for reading out the letter written by Dhir Krishnarup Prabhu. It shows us the depth of his conviction and consciousness even before he joined ashram. And thank you very much, Krishnadas ji and Ms. Mother Janki Das ji, for giving your blessings to him, because of which we could have a wonderful friend as Dhir Krishnarup Prabhu. Thank you. May I request Haridas ji, Dhir Krishnarup Prabhu's uncle, to make his offering, And in the meantime, Shri Radha Prem Mataji can be ready. She can come forward and sit, please. Shri Radha Prem Mataji.
Hare Krishna. I will be talking more about Prabhu Dheeraj, his childhood and all that thing. And from what I heard from everybody, his determination was beyond any normal this thing. He never gave up on anything. He was like a backbone for us also, in the sense that whenever we had a crisis in the family or anything, he used to be there with us and give us the motivation. I just also would like to thank all of you all for giving us the strength, all of us, to bear through this unbearable loss. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Haridas ji. May I request Shri Radha Prem Mataji to make her offering. And in the meantime, Bhagavatanand Prabhu can be ready. I request Bhagavatanand Prabhu to please come forward and sit.
With the permission of the senior devotees who are sitting in front. I'd like to say something about my son, Dheer Krishna Rup Das Prabhu. I do not know where from to start. Dheer Krishna Rup Prabhu has been so close to us for more than 10 years. We have very sweet memories. We would come to our place and behave like a member of our family, including getting into the kitchen and see himself what prasad is there. We used to fight, we used to tease each other, and during yatra he used to correct us. Once I still remember, we were talking, myself and Raghavanitai Prabhu's wife, talking something, and he came and told us, no prajalpa, only Krishna Katha during yatra. He was a loving son for the elderly Matajis, a friend and a guide to all devotees, irrespective of their age, and a mentor to the newcomers. His dedication, determination to serve the Lord and to bring as many people as possible to engage in Lord's service is really praiseworthy. He was a gem amongst the brahmacharis in Goa. His enthusiasm and energy to spreading the mission of Prabhupada is beyond my understanding. Last June, we had a good fortune of getting his association during the Udupi Yatra and also to travel with him in a car on our way back to Goa. Those 6 or 7 hours were the longest association of ours with him, and is really a memorable one. We all know his appetite for yatras. He would take devotees, particularly the new ones, to many holy dhams to establish and maintain their faith in the Supreme Lord. Once when we met him, he said, he just returned from a yatra. When I asked him, how many yatras you do, Prabhuji, in a year? He said, Mataji, when Krishna will call me back, I do not know. Before he does that, I would like to go to as many holy dhams as possible. Yes, he just did that. But he did his final yatra so quietly that none of us could get a hint. I heard from my elders that Lord recalls whom he loves the most. This appears to be true. He was not only loved by all devotees, but by Lord Krishna also. Had many plans for ISKCON, particularly for Ponda Center, but the Lord took him to engage him in better service. But I am sure Lord will send him back duly empowered to fulfill Prabhupada's mission. Prabhuji, if I have offended you any time, please forgive me. Please accept.